So what is this album? Is it an ELO album, or is it a Jeff Lynne album, or is it somewhere kind of in between? Jeff Lynne's ELO, Alone in the Universe. So ELO, or Electric Light Orchestra, are kind of back, finally, after, well, for a little bit there. ELO has been one of my favorite bands from the 70s for quite a while, and mainly because of just how happy everything is with all of their music. It's just overly happy and very energetic, and also very accessible. And this is what I really like about ELO, is just how accessible they are. And so when I say that ELO is back, it's really a one-man show at this point. It's mainly the front man of Jeff Lynne. Jeff Lynne has been kind of the forefront of the band since the inception of the band, but at least now he is taking complete center stage here, and all those other members don't quite have as much influence or impact on this particular album. And this has proven that it's a very guitar-driven album, whereas in the past they used a lot more strings and a lot more horns and a lot more of a symphonic sound, kind of bringing that classical mix into a rock and roll kind of a jam. That is all gone, and it's mainly just the guitar leading the song through, with having a little bit of the strings and a little bit of that overall symphonic sound backing it up. And so I can honestly say that this album is a pleasant listen, much as a lot of ELO's tracks are. My biggest concern is it's very one note and almost one-dimensional at times, which can be fine. If this is the scratch with that itch that you have, then it's definitely a great album in that respects, but it is very one note and doesn't overly fluctuate all that much. I will admit though, Jeff Lynne has definitely found out what works and what really tickles my fancy in this sense. And what I mean by that is his ability to take a note and know exactly the right note to follow it, and then follow that note. And the song that really shows this is Ain't It a Drag, the first song on the second side of this album. It starts off, and the note progression that it has, your mind almost wants it to do something else, but when it does a different thing than you're expecting, it's a very pleasant surprise. Where I felt like they were going to go down a note or go into more of a negative note, they keep going into the major and they keep upping the scale, and so I really like the presentation and I really like how they do this. And the other part is in the chorus of When the Night Comes. There's a particular note progression in that I really enjoy, and it's very flowy, and it really works well together. When the night comes, every night that's when I think of you. But really for me, the standout track is the title track of Alone in the Universe. It's very mellow, and it's almost a little bit dark in that question of, are we alone in the universe? Is there really, like, is this all there really is? And so because there's a little bit of a melodramatic tone to the whole overall song, framed in Jeff Lynne's optimistic, presentation all the time, it was perfect in that balance, and that's what I really like. This is definitely my favorite track from the album. I knew it all along. I'm such a long, long way from home. But really, what you're getting here is a pop album. It's a pop album that would have been a great hit back in probably the early 80s. It's got that same kind of a feel. So when you're listening to this, you're very conscious that you're listening to a popular album. You're listening to music that isn't necessarily groundbreaking or not pushing the boundaries or doing anything real different. It's something that is very pleasant to listen to and one that can be accessible by anyone. It's for that reason that I say stream it with earbuds. You're not going to really miss out on anything by doing so, and it's almost kind of how you should be listening to it, just kind of a late afternoon kind of an album to put on to get that pleasant feeling that ELO has captured. But really, there's nothing new on this album as well, and it's just kind of treading the old path that we already knew of. But that's about it. So what did you guys think about this? Let me know what you thought about this album by commenting below. And that's about it. Just a heads up, I'm not going to be doing an album review or anything next week. It's going to be chaos for me, but I will be holding a question and answer video the next week. So be sure to give me all of your emails. You can hit me up on Twitter. Here is where you can do so. And also just leave comments below and I'll answer those in a specific Q&A video. And that's it. All right, notes out.